Two of the four people who survived a helicopter crash at Uluru have been flown to Adelaide for treatment. They were on a Sunset Joy flight when the chopper crashed last night.
I was a helicopter pilot out at Uluru doing a lot of scenic flights, which was incredible. It was 17th of January 2018. Started as a normal day. We knew we had this big group, 300 passengers coming in for a flight, so everyone was excited, looking forward to that. Perfect day for flying. Unfortunately, my second last flight for the day, I took off, and within seconds the helicopter just stopped producing enough power to keep us in the air. After we crashed, I remember I was hanging from my seatbelt, and that was the only pain that I could feel. I tried to stand up to take the weight off my waist, but I wasn't able to do that. After the ambulance and the Uluru Fire Brigade turned up, and then I was flown back to the Uluru ambulance station, and from there we waited for the Royal Flying Doctors to come in.
In Alex's case, we didn't need to know what his injuries were before we left. We just needed to know that a helicopter had crashed and we had to get there immediately. Every time we go to a major trauma, we take an entire ICU with us. With the doctor from the MRAC team, we take the ability to immobilise the patient on a vacuum mat so that their spine, including their neck, is completely secure, and to be able to put a tube down their throat and breathe for them on a ventilator with all of the machinery that you would find in an ICU.
I remember getting to the Adelaide Royal Flying Doctors base. From there I was then transferred to the Adelaide Hospital where I went into surgery. They said that my spinal cord unfortunately had been squashed down to 15%, and to them that was as good as being cut. Unfortunately they broke the news that I was paraplegic and would never walk again. I do remember at the time I was very adamant that I was going to walk again. And I remember telling the doctors and the rehabilitation lady that I would. Once I'd had surgery in Adelaide, I was then transferred by the Royal Flying Doctors up to Brisbane. Fortunate to meet a bull rider who was going to neurophysics on the Gold Coast, and he mentioned to me that he was seeing good results, and once I was out to go and have a look, I knew from there that this was the place I needed to be, and this was what was going to get me back on my feet.
There you go.
To look back on that to where I am now, walking by myself, seeing my legs start to regain muscle and strength, it's incredible. I don't know when I'm going to be back walking without the wheelie walker, but I do know it's going to happen, and the way I'm improving week to week is incredible.
I had every parent's worst nightmare in receiving a phone call, my wife and I, that this had happened, and the moment that I spoke to the people that were looking after him in care, the RFDS people, it had a calming influence on our family. I knew that he couldn't get better treatment. So May 2021, I came back out to Uluru. While I was here, I had the opportunity to come into the Alice Springs Royal Flying Doctors base, and I gave them a $5,000 donation, which for me isn't anywhere near enough. To me, the Royal Flying Doctors mean the world. They mean everything to me. They came in professional, knew what they were doing. At the same time, there was that ease, that peace of mind, that knowing you were in safe hands, knowing you were going to be looked after. The Royal Flying Doctors played a massive part in my recovery and everything, yeah.